engaging celebrity interviews, exciting updates from Christian filmmakers, movie reviews so you can choose your movies wisely, and so much more here on Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Faith on Film. We're so glad you've joined us today. Got a great show for you today. And you know what? I'm going to ask you to invite some of your friends to check out this show. Easiest way to do it is just to go to our website, faithonfilmtv.com. That's faithonfilmtv.com, and you'll find all the shows there from the past as well as this one. And you can tell your friends to check this show out because it's going to be fantastic. Why is it going to be fantastic, you ask? Well, I don't know how many of you remember a movie that came out 15 years ago called What If? It was starring Kevin Sorbo and directed by none other than Dallas Jenkins. Now, you, of course, know Dallas from the series The Chosen. Well, here's what's happening. There is a re-release of the movie as a Fathom event, August 5th and 7th of this year, August 5th and 7th. They're re-releasing the movie What If? Because it's become very popular, of course, with the popularity of Dallas Jenkins because of the series The Chosen. People are very interested in other things that he's done, and What If was one of them. So they're re-releasing it, and we certainly hope that it does great. We believe it will. But here's the exciting part. Holly got a chance to interview Kevin Sorbo all about this movie. So this is an interview you don't want to miss, so don't change that channel. Let's take a look at the trailer to What If, and then on to Holly with Kevin Sorbo.
Well, it is my pleasure to welcome again. We've had on the show before, Kevin Sorbo. Kevin, welcome to Faith on Film. So good to have you.
Good to be back, and we're here to talk about Faith on Film.
We are, and we're here talking about something that you did 15 years ago, a film called What If? Funny, I was talking to a girl who is 26 and mentioned that I was going to be interviewing you today and talking about the film. She goes, I grew up watching that over and over. That was one of my favorite films. I said, really? She goes, oh yeah, my family loved that movie. So there you go. You've got that younger generation that loved it too. Let's talk about now. Dallas Jenkins, the director, felt like he wanted to re-release this movie. Did you get a phone call? How did you find out?
Well, I've been talking about him for a long time to see if there's some way to re-release it. Look, I did this movie. We did it back in 2010. It's the same writers that did God's Not Dead. A couple years later, God's Not Dead becomes a massive hit. But in my book, this is a much better movie. And I can say that without offending the writers of God's Not Dead, because the guys who wrote that also wrote What If? And I've always talk about this movie. Every speaking event I do like 15 speaking events a year on average over the last 13 years. I bring this movie up all the time, and I tell people you got to watch it because they all cheer about God's Not Dead. And I said, you don't understand. What If is better? And I explain what the movie is. And the last 6-7 years, the streaming and DVD sales have been going up. So Dallas said, you know what? I mean, he's so huge with The Chosen right now. He's got such a big following with that. I got my following through through social media. I've been doing 4 or 5 movies every single year over the last 12, 15 years. So to me, it's like, this is a perfect time to release that movie because it doesn't age. It's a wonderful movie about, it's like a reverse It's a Wonderful Life. It's got a great story about love and hope and faith and redemption and laughter, things that Hollywood doesn't do, as you know.
And also, it reminded me of A Family Man, which I loved, and got a little bit of that. Except that this has the faith element to it, like what you say. It's a Wonderful Life kind of did too back in those days. Family Man kind of did, but it's really about this successful, you're very wealthy, successful, great business guy, an angel, which John Ratzenberger. Oh, who doesn't?
John is great in this movie. He's great.
I love him. He's so good. And as your angel, he says, okay, well, I want to show you a different life. Now, go back. It probably would be further than that. If an angel came to Kevin, he was Hercules, and said, Kevin, I'm going to take you and show you. You're out of Hercules, but I'm going to show you where your career is going to be 30 years from now. Would you have believed and would you have chosen and wanted this who the Kevin is now with a family and career?
Yeah, because I've always been a Christian guy. So to me, when I read that script, I did, because Dallas gave me that script, and the whole idea behind that was just to give him notes on it, because we were already friends. His family, my family, same age with kids and stuff. And I said, "Who's playing Pastor Ben?" He goes, "Well, maybe this guy." No, I'm playing him. He said, "You can't." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I can't afford you." Says it's a very low budget movie. And I said, no, 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 no. Then you pay me the minimum, pay me SAG minimum. I said, I've got to do this movie. It is such a good, not only my role, all the roles in there are so good. Christy Swanson is awesome as my wife. Debbie Ryan as my daughter. She was huge on the Disney Channel at that time. And John Ratzenberger, of course. I said, this movie, I love this movie. It made me, reading a script, it made me laugh. I started crying in some spots. I'm on the airplane reading. This guy next to me goes, "You okay, dude?" And he goes, it's a really good script, you know, because the guy recognized me next to me. I started talking to him and stuff. But it was, I said, I have to do this movie. So we shot it. We could only hope and pray with the small, you know, small budget movies. We don't have $100 million advertising budget like they do for Spider-Man. Okay. We got to get word of mouth. And I'm hoping now, because with Dallas's following, which is huge,
Yeah.
and through my social media and through what you guys have, I'm hoping that people fill up the theaters, because we only get 2 days, August 5th, August 7th. If we fill up the theaters, there's balloons going behind me now. If we, that's what, yes, go see the movie and good things will happen, okay? But to me, it's that we got to get people to support these movies, because Hollywood is winning the cultural war, and it's an evil war that they're battling with the rest of us. And I thank God for the Kendrick brothers. I thank God for the Irwins. I thank God for Cindy Bond and her company. They put movies out there that change people's lives. And everybody stops me at airports and hotel lobbies saying, you know what? I became a Christian because of your movies. Keep making the movies you're making. So I knew this is my what if. This is the what if life that God wanted me to, in the road God wanted me to be on.
I love that. I love that you feel that way and that that's your answer. I mean, I want to count how many films you've done, because remember, I've been watching you for a long time, probably 30 years. As long as your career goes up for Hercules. And I mean, you have 27 upcoming projects or projects you've been, and over 422. Kevin, you made a lot of movies and have a lot of.
Well, that's counting 200 episodes, 240 episodes of Hercules and Andromeda combined.
Okay.
But I have done a lot. I've been very blessed. I've got 4 new movies coming out this year, not counting What If. I have 3 new documentaries we shot these all in the last 2 years. I've got 2 movies I already shot this year. I got 2 movies that I'm about to shoot. I leave next week for Las Vegas. Dean Cain and I are doing a faith-based comedy golf movie called Holy One.
I love it. Oh, I love it, Dean Cain, because he's so good. I love him too. Oh, that's going to be.
And then I'm directing an action faith-based movie in October, November in New Orleans. So I'm saying this year is booked out for me. I'm very busy, I love it that way.
But good for you. And you know what? Good for you. And like you said, the movies are touching lives and changing lives. What's one of your favorite scenes, so that when people see What If, you're like, that's one of the favorite scenes of the movie?
Oh man, that's so unfair, because there's so many that I like in that thing.
Okay, give us your 3.
I think the one where I first meet John Ratzenberger, when he's a tow truck driver, he's there to tow my car away because it's broken down, and the stuff he says to me, and I go, I don't know what the heck he's talking about. And I go, who are you? He goes, I'm an angel sent down here to save your life. And I think, yeah, right, whatever, pal, And that was it. I just love that scene. And there's a wonderful scene I have on the couch in the living room of my house with Christy Swanson, where she hands me the Bible to read a passage. It's a very touching, moving moment. There's another great shot, a scene that I'm at the bedside of a man in the hospital. He's on his deathbed. And I'm talking to him and reading Bible passages to him, but realizing that I was supposed to read these Bible passages because God wanted me to read them for myself as well.
Wow.
And it's just really cool.
So it's kind of an evergreen story, right? Even 15 years later, it's something that's for today.
It hasn't aged whatsoever. Dallas said about 3 years ago, he watched it and he called me. He goes, you know what? My kids, this is their favorite thing I've ever done, is this movie. And I watched it again with them, and I said, man, this movie hasn't aged at all. I said, no, it hasn't aged at all. Maybe the cars are going to look at 15 years old, but for the most part, you're not going to notice it. You will not notice that. You just notice small town USA. We shot it in Michigan and 3 cities, Grand Rapids, Traverse City, and Manistee, Michigan. All the extras we had were phenomenal. These people were so excited to be part of this movie. And it was just everything, the location. Dallas did just a really great job with this movie. And to this date, he still wants to make a TV series out of it.
Wow. Now that would be. And look at the clout Dallas has now. I mean, I've loved following his career too, and seeing where he was as a director years ago and where he is now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And and studios are listening to him. So he has got the influence that 15 years ago he would have loved to have.
Well, they're waking up. They're seeing the success of movies I've been part of, the success the Irwin brothers are doing. They realize there's 80 million homes that want these kind of family friendly movies. In Hollywood, with their ideology so hell bent on hating conservatives and Christians, they're starting to wake up a little bit. Because how many more woke movies does Disney want to make where they lose $300 million? They gotta start making money. They can scream socialism all they want, but they are a capitalist business. Who are we kidding?
Yeah, they are. And we have seen their movie sales. Even the last thing, Elio or whatever they just released, bombed. I mean, sorry,
Pixar just bombed. Well, people are sick of this.
Yeah,
they're just sick of it.
Yeah,
they can put diversity in these things, but these messaging they put out there, the average person in the world just like going, why? Can you just do a movie that has a nice message, no matter what the characters are? It's just it's weird. It's weird.
Do you feel like the Christian aspect of it, the Bible aspect, and the what if, is it a beat it over your head, John 3:16, or is it woven into the story? You feel in a real palpable way.
No, I think it's the latter, what you just said. I think it's just kids of all ages can see this movie. You can bring your 5 and 6-year-old kids to it. God's Not Dead had a little more of an adult theme to it. It's a wonderful movie, well written, but this one is just really a wonderful, touching family movie. You will laugh, trust me. And if you don't cry, then you don't have a soul. If there's scenes in here that like you cry, like it's just a fun movie, and I'm so honored and blessed that we're getting back out there again, because I've got a couple other movies that I've done that I've been part of that should be re-released in theaters that are just wonderful movies. But you got to compete against these massive $300 million budget movies that Hollywood's doing.
But Marvel and some of the others, DC, they're taking the things that were their standards and redoing it as well. So they're even redoing things that were 10 and 15 years to bring back to people, because that's what people love, is the good stories. That's what they love. Yeah. Now, after the 2 dates, where can they see what if they miss those 2 dates for some?
Well, they can just go online where it's streaming. Honestly, I don't know where that is right now. But if they go, here's the thing: if we fill up these theaters, I'm hoping every church tells their congregations to go. It's August 5th and August 7th, and we're going to be on a number of hundreds of screens across the country. But if we fill these theaters up, they will get more screenings in theaters.
Yes,
Hollywood, these people that own movie theaters, they don't care what they show. They want to sell popcorn and sodas. So if it's something good that they're going to put butts in those seats, they're going to show anything and everything. Unfortunately, it's a lot of horror movies and a lot of angry, divisive, violent-filled movies and sexual-filled movies that people keep going to for some reason.
Absolutely. Now, I love your wife, Sam. How is Sam and your kids? Are your boys going to be in your golf movie?
Not this one, not that they're going to be in it. I did a movie with my son Shane that came out last Christmas called God's Here. It's a wonderful movie. Braden and I have a wonderful movie. It's a secular comedy movie, though, dealing with zombies and aliens. It's quite funny, actually. So that's called Cuisine de Apocalypse, and it's pretty funny. But Sam is actually. Yeah. No, it's coming. It's coming up.
It's coming up. I just want to see that. I actually tell me sorry, but I do.
But Sam is in DC right now, attacking our education system. She's a homeschool advocate. She travels the country. She and my oldest son Braden were just in Tampa for Turning Point USA. They do a lot of work with Charlie Kirk, and they were doing like 12 interviews a day, and they said it was great.
Oh, I love it. I love what you do. And do you still have charities for children? I know you're very involved with your charities with kids.
You know what? I moved out of LA, so I stopped the World Fit for Kids because I'm not there to visit the 12 schools we work with anymore, because I live on the other side of the country. But I did that for over 20 years. We're the #1 after school program in the state. But right now I'm doing a lot of work with Wounded Warriors, Gary Sinise, and we're doing a lot with Tunnels to Towers with Mark Wahlberg and those guys. Warriors Journey, which is awesome. This is a vet-owned business that works with suicidal vets, because we have, and another one I'm working with are 22-0, another vet run company to get the 22 suicides a day down to 0.
Okay, good to know. Good to know those two. Okay, we need to talk to the Irwin brothers about getting you in the House of David so you can play one of those warriors or one of those.
I wish they would get me in. I think they're done filming right now. Those guys have never used me. They've never used me. Come on, guys. Put me in one movie.
I mean, come on, you were Hercules. Come on, we've done it.
It's like, give me a break. I mean, it's like, it's time to move on. Get me in a movie.
Well, they're not done yet. So there's others. And neither is Dallas. Dallas can put you into, he's got season 7 coming up. So,
I told him he can make me a Roman guard. I see blue eyes in those Roman guards. I know I was Jewish, but I lived in Milan for 8 months, and there were a lot of lighter colored hair guys and blue eyes. I saw that. I lived in Italy.
Okay, you got to work on Dallas on that one, okay?
I know.
Well, Kevin, I'm so excited to hear about the films coming up. And for people, I know you rattled off a few, but do you have a website or somewhere where they can go to?
Please, sorbostudios.com. Sorbo, my last name, Studios. You all know what those are. And I know everybody knows what .com is. So sorbostudios.com, sign up. We'll keep you up to date when these other 4 movies, these 3 documentaries come out. I got 3 wonderful documentaries. 2 of them were shot in Israel, and another one I narrated with Brent Miller's company. It deals with the Last Supper. It's called Eating with the Enemy.
Oh, I love that. Okay,
Yep.
You got to come back on and talk about those two.
I'd love to when they come out, sure.
Okay, and let's promote this too, because I want to keep people, because you're excited. You've got an exciting career and it's going. And Kevin, congratulations,
Thanks.
guys. You have to tune in. The 2 dates now that's going to be in theaters are, Kevin?
It's August 5th and August 7th.
It's 5th and August 7th.
They can go to fathomentertainment.com, or they can go to What If on Facebook, and they'll get all the information.
God bless everything you do and the success of this and more. And thanks so much for being on. We love to have you again soon.
All right. See if I can get some fireworks.
I love it.
It's just the star that I am.
That's so great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
What makes Capernaum Studios different from other movie studios? We believe in empowering filmmakers to make stories that matter, inspire, uplift, and transform lives. From historically authentic sets to state-of-the-art, fully equipped sound stages, we offer immersive LED and green screen stages, ICVFX virtual production, period to modern sets, a first-century village featured in The Chosen, and much more. We provide everything filmmakers need to focus on what matters in making their vision a reality, producing meaningful content affordably without compromising creativity. Discovering what's possible when creativity meets purpose. Capernaum Studios, empowering filmmakers to make dreams a reality.
Welcome back. Wasn't that a wonderful interview with Kevin Sorbo? We always love having Kevin. I believe this is like his 4th time on the show. I think he has the distinction of being the star with the most appearances on Faith on Film, and we certainly are going to have him back again because he's got so much going on. Like he said, a lot of different movies coming out that he's involved with. So we certainly want to have him back. But you know what? There was another exciting thing that Holly did, and that was that she was able to attend the premiere showing of What If at a theater over there in the Dallas area, I believe it was. And not only was she able to attend and watch the movie on the big screen, but she got a chance to talk to Dallas himself on the red carpet. So take a look at this interview with Holly and Dallas Jenkins on the red carpet.
I love this fact that you're kind of re-releasing, because it's a story for all time. It really is. What was the impetus for saying, okay, I'm going to do this again? You've other films you've done, but what about this one? What's so special?
What If has always been something very special because it was pretty small when we did it. It's the first actually explicitly faith-based movie that I did where I was unapologetic about it. God had really kind of gotten in my attention and said, stop apologizing or being nervous about doing faith-based films that are about me. Just do it and lean into it. And so this was the first one. It's Kevin Sorbo's first faith-based movie. I just am really proud of the casting. But here's the thing. Over the last 15 years, the popularity of this movie has just continued to grow. I'll see trailers pop up online when it's on PureFlix, and the comments just go crazy about people saying how much they loved it. And the other cool thing is someone will then mention, something like, well, this is from Dallas, the guy who did The Chosen. And a lot of Chosen fans are like, I didn't know you did What If. I love What If, or that's one of my favorite movies. So when we got to the 15th anniversary, I just thought, talk to PureFlix, talk to Fathom, who we have a great relationship with, and both of them were really excited about the idea. And we thought maybe this is a chance, just going to celebrate 15 years, bring the cast back together, give some updates and behind the scenes. So much has happened since then. So it just felt like a good opportunity, and we've been hearing some great things about it.
I knew that this is a particular fun film for you because your family was involved. It was a family affair.
Yeah, yes. My daughter Maya has a cameo in the movie. My wife and a couple of my other kids have a quick cameo in the background. And so they were part of it. And my kids really love the movie, which is really cool for me because my kids, as they've gotten older, they're a little bit more cynical, a little harder to please. And I think that's true of a lot of parents. A lot of parents, Christian parents, when they're trying to give their kids faith-based content, it's hard to give them something that they're not going to roll their eyes at. And so this has always been a movie that my kids and their friends have always been like, no, they actually laugh, they actually get moved, they actually get something out of it. And so that's always been really special to me too, is not just that my kids were part of the making of it, but that they actually really enjoyed the movie too.
And you had a cameo in it too.
I have a cameo. I've got my hair down on my face. I'm a kind of a ratty gas station attendant. I have my little moment in the sun for sure.
Okay. If an angel had appeared to Dallas Jenkins 15 years ago and said, here's where you're going to be in 15 years, would you have believed him? Or would you have thought it was a true story? Or would you be like, no, that's not? What would you have reacted?
If an angel 15 years ago had said to me, you're going to do a show about Jesus and that's where your whole life is going to lead. And that's going to be the thing that impacts the world at the rate that The Chosen has. I definitely would have had a hard time believing it. But here's the other thing that I would have had a hard time believing is that I would have been in a position where I actually no longer cared about the numbers, that I no longer cared about the success. That was the thing that even when I did What If, I struggled with. I was always seeking affirmation. So my What If is more about, what if you actually didn't care about affirmation and numbers and success and impact? What would your life look like? And what's funny is once I surrendered all that, once I gave that up, that's when God really granted me this kind of impact and favor when I actually don't care about it anymore. I just want to see his work be done. And that's been really cool.
And that was kind of a time when you were trying to prove yourself with your dad, prove yourself with your career. And
yeah, I want to try to prove myself with everyone. I wanted to be legitimized. And so doing a faith-based movie, at the time I was actually thinking, I don't know if I want to do that. I want to be cool. And then the movie turned out great and it impacted people. And I thought, okay, this is what I want to do with my life.
And isn't that ironic? Well, not ironic, but God, that now the faith thing that you're doing now is impacting the world in a way that no one ever could have thought.
Yeah. Well, yeah. God took my humility and brokenness and said, now you're ready for The Chosen. And then as The Chosen has grown in popularity, it's kind of revived interest in What If, which is really cool. So I think the lesson ultimately is surrender.
Wow, so good. So what if it's going to happen in another 15 years with Dallas? Any visions or projections?
Here's the cool thing. I don't predict anymore. I don't project anymore. I don't try to hit any goals. I go, I want to see what God's going to do as much as you do. So in 15 years, I just hope I'm in God's will. That's all I care about.
What do you have to gain?
Pretty much everything.
I have loved you every day, every hour, every minute, every second ever since.
We don't always get what we want, but we always get what we need. We're connected, all of us.
You've probably felt it. The world's moving faster than truth can keep up.
And in this flood of AI mush and clickbait noise, something quiet but urgent rises. It's Prairie Winds, the flagship series from 3 Days Studios.
Prairie Winds reflects everything that we stand for. Faith in action, truth with grace, stories that revive.
So I think anybody who's interested should jump into this because I think it's a chance to change the culture in so many ways.
Welcome back. Weren't those great interviews? I sure hope you enjoyed them. Remember, What If 15th anniversary re-release this August 5th and 7th at a theater near you. Just go to the Fathom Events website and you'll find out what theaters are playing it. And if it's in your city, definitely go watch the movie. It's a great movie. I remember it well when it first came out. So go check it out. Also, I'd like to invite you to check out our website again, faithonfilmtv.com. That's faithonfilmtv.com. You'll be able to watch a lot of past shows. You'll be able to read a little bit about myself and Holly, who we are. There's also a lot of interviews that Holly did with Hollywood people on the section called Holly on Hollywood. But there's another very important section there that I'd love for you to visit, and that is the Partner With Us. We really could use your partnership. We do this show to help not only you know what movies are out there, but to help filmmakers so that they can have their movies be successful. It's very difficult on these Christian filmmakers because they spend all their money producing the movie, and many times they don't have the money to do promotion of the movie. So just go to that partnership there and help us keep this show going so that we can help these filmmakers continue to make good Christian movies. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for today. We have a lot of great new shows coming your way soon. So just keep tuned. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. I keep saying Twitter, but I believe now it's X, at Faith on Film TV. Well, until next week, take care.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.